At CentralValleyTalk.com in the hot seat, I have Lord Rudy. Welcome, Lord Rudy. He's going to fill us in on the, what was that called again?
Okay, so tis the seasons, the holidays are here. So I just wanted to give a brief journey of the harvest from summertime going into now winter, fall, winter, and also a little bit of how that ties into the nature rhythms tie into actually Thanksgiving.
That sounds very interesting. Oh, go ahead. Fill us in.
Okay, so let's just start the journey. So I want to just start with the full moons. So September, the full moon in September, we have a full moon or sometimes two full moons in every month. But in September is when we start fall. Now September, back in pagan times or old times, is when there was the last harvest. And actually, in old times, there was really only kind of like two seasons. We had like the harvest, and then it would be winter, and then it would go into the honey season. So September's full moon is what is called the harvest moon. And usually the harvest moon, if you look at it, it's usually very gold, sometimes orange, kind of pinkish. And then we go into the October's full moon, which is the blood moon, which means the beginning of the honey season. It means this is a time where we would, back in the old times where we would store all our grain, vegetables, but also we had to start hunting. So, so as nature, believe it or not, the Earth Mother would speak to us on how to prepare. So we all know that as we go into fall, that the leaves start to fall, but they're also, from the tree, but also they start to turn more rustic, orange, yellows, browns. And she would speak to us, or the Earth Mother would speak to us on how to prepare. Now, I just want to start with, you just hold that real quick.
Okay.
So we have a little bit, symbolism of the harvest leaves, or the colors. And I just want to go into the symbology of the colors. So we have the red, which is for vitality, because in wintertime, in fall and winter, we need strength to survive those winters. And I'll also go into how that corresponds to today's day and age, but in our times now. But so red is for vitality. It also represents blood, for respect of, what we hunt, strength, vitality. And then we get into the orange, this was the time where we would start to meditate for our crops for the new year, in springtime when we start to plant, our seeds. So the orange is for vision, vitality, creativity, how to do things maybe a little bit differently. And then we got into the browns, which is working with the earth, planting our seeds, being wise on how we plant our seeds. And then we go into the gold, which was praying for the sun god to come back, or light, and sun, also the gold or the yellow represents success. So so this is and also once again the Earth Mother speaks to us through symbology, actually through the earth. So so this is what the harvest colors represent. Now I want to go into a brief, I didn't have a statue of Zeus, so I brought good old Dionysus. So anyways, so there's a story. So I want to go into now tying it into Thanksgiving. So everybody knows that there's the cornucopia, which is actually supposed to be. Now it's more of a woven basket that's shaped like a horn. But there's a story of Zeus when he was an infant toddler that there was a divine goat named Almathea that allowed Zeus to break off one of her horns so that he may drink from the milk from her. And this, because him being a god, she became divine, and also to remember her, he put her in the star system constellation, and actually she became then the all-giving sign of Capricorn. So cornucopia is Greek or Latin. There's two words. It's cornu, which means horn, literally horn, and copia, which means abundance. So it translates to horn of plenty. Now, this is a lot of things that people don't know today. So yes, the Pilgrims did come from England, but also they weren't just all Christians. There was actually a lot of people that were kind of rebellious. So there was a lot of, pagans. So they incorporated these belief systems, the symbology. So when you see a cornucopia on the table, it's always decorated with the colors, which represent exactly what I explained. And also, it would be filled with the things that they always wanted to be abundant with, like either gold coins or corn or gourds, or like things that they wanted for the next year to be abundant. And this horn, because it was divine from Zeus, that Zeus or God in all its deific forms, goddess and God, would bestow upon us these blessings. And it's also to give thanks to our divine selves and the gods, goddesses within ourselves, and we're the microcosmic, so the macrocosmic supreme being, goddess, God. So that's how it ties into Thanksgiving.
That is very interesting. I never knew that. And
well, a lot of these things are hidden, but then they're not hidden, and sometimes the mysteries are even more better.
Yes. And fall is my favorite season, and my house is decorated. My whole house is decorated with the fall season, scarecrows and turkeys and.
Well, I'm all about fall, winter, and actually spring. I'm not too much of a summer person.
Me neither. I just like summer. I just like fall and winter. I don't.
It's fun.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of summer and spring, but. Yeah. We're here in the Central Valley, so we get a little bit of everything.
Right.
Is there anything else? How can people find you if they want to ask you?
So I think we decided I'm going to be a regular fixture every other Thursday.
Yes. Lord Rudy will be here on Thursdays on my show at 7 o'clock, and he'll be giving us a little astrology forecast. And if you have any questions, go ahead and send me a message at tgrr245@gmail.com. And if you have anything for Rudy, how can people find you?
Okay, so I run my metaphysical healing studio and shop out of my home. For more information, you can send me an email, rudyblackwolf@gmail.com, or text me or call area code 559-930-7597. That's the House of Morgan, and I'm Psychic Lord Rudy. Also, I do readings as Psychic Lucian on AskNow.com. And I also want to just leave because at the end of each segment, I'm going to give a brief, not so much of astrology reading, but more of the moon as it travels through each zodiac sign. So everyone, I want to just share that over the next 4 days that the moon will be in the house of, it's in the house of Sagittarius right now, but it will be going into the house of Capricorn. But also Venus is in, until the 27th of this month, it will be in the house of Sagittarius. Now this is my key words for everyone, is that when it comes to your loved ones, friends, lovers, wives, husbands, children, that when the moon and travels through these signs, and also when Venus is in the house of Sagittarius, is that it's about respecting each other, trying to be mindful of your words, because sometimes, usually, there's a lot of trying things that are going on. Just know that these are times we're in a relationship where things can get kind of rude or lost in translation, and people being really blunt. So it reminds us to work a little bit harder as far as being loving and respectful. Also, on a positive note, these are good. This is a good time over the next 4 days to shine extra at work, prepare, and also to any interviews or things where you want to shine extra, that to be able to harness these powers, meditate on them, just be open and receptive, and everything will be good. Also, this Saturday, the moon will be new, so that's a time of bringing good things into your life.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Lord Rudy. And I'm so glad of you joining Team Rage.
I'm glad to be here.
We'll be right back after this with Jesse Lee Humphrey. Woo!